What makes the perfect resto-mod? You know, that would be many things to many different people. But the cool thing is there's really no hard set of rules. There's everything from the mild to the wild and everything in between. Myself, I'm more of the mild type guy. And what I would consider a mild resto-mod would be a car that still has a lot of its original DNA. And that's what I'm going to talk about. What does it mean when it still has a lot of its original DNA? Well, the blanket statement would be, it would be a car that could easily be put back to original. So I have a resto-mod in the building. Cool thing about this resto-mod, it's a 67. The 67 and 68 Mustang are by far the most popular platform for building resto-mods. When you build a resto-mod, you're only limited by your imagination, your budget, and which platform you choose. If you choose a 67 and 68 Mustang, there probably are more aftermarket suppliers for parts and more shops that have built a resto-mod off that platform than any other. It's just the most popular one. Now, let's check out this original Mustang that's been mildly resto-modded. Okay, I described this car as a mild resto-mod. Why is it mild? Well, to start with, it's actually an original Mustang. It's not a reproduction body, so there's a lot of DNA in the original body. But it goes beyond that. A lot of restraint was used in building this car. They still have the original design element, Ford super popular taillights, one of my favorite features. Now, it does have some Shelby body kit components, all of which can be removed and erased like they were never there before. As you can see, it's got the rear deck lid, it's got the little corners for the deck lid, it's got the scoops on both rear panels, easily removed, original sheet metal beneath it. That's really cool. Now, there's only really one modification on this car that I would call on the wild side, and it's amazing. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, but let's look at the interior, which has a lot of the original DNA, and the engine bay, a lot of the original DNA. That makes it a mild resto-mod. Well, here we are inside the cockpit. This is one of the most beautiful interiors to ever come out of Detroit. I absolutely love the 67 Mustang interior, especially when it's finished like this one. Now, most of these features in here are factory design elements. There's not much that's not factory in here, but what you don't see at a casual glance is that this is a 5-speed transmission. It has an aftermarket shifter as well, but it's a 5-speed transmission, so that's resto-mod, without a doubt. Now the radio, it's a factory radio, but we sent it off. It's updated. It actually is an ipod compatible radio and AM and FM capable with a modern day speaker. So that's a fantastic update. I guess you'd call that resto-mod. For the most part, everything else is original. It looks very much like it would have the day it left the factory at Ford. Just gorgeous. All right, here we are. Here's the engine bay. And notice on the front end, I mentioned a minute ago a lot of restraint was used in this build. It doesn't have the 67 Shelby front end or a Eleanor front end. It's a billet grille. That's it. The rest of it's original. I love the look. I think it's simple, I think it's clean, and I think it helps the car stay close to its original DNA. Also, the motor. It's an original mill vintage 302. I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of different engines that just one more click, and this car is a super resto-mod, and that's true. There's a lot of engines that would go in here and finish this car at a different level. But don't write off the old 302 so quick. It's a balanced and blueprinted sweet little motor that loves to rev, and it fits in there like a glove, and it looks original, which is much to my taste. Now, some of the modifications you can see is the Ride Technologies front suspension, coilovers, and let's see what else is notable. Oh, we also updated the air conditioning, has modern day heat and modern day air. So that's basically it for the resto-mod modifications, except for one, and it's anything but mild. Everything else is what I would call mild, making this a mild resto-mod. The car is otherwise very, very original. You still have your original VIN stamp here, the original door tag in the door. It's a factory A-code car. It came with power disc brakes, very nice option. Typically you only see that on the GT. It came with power steering. It still has both those options. Now let's talk about the wild option. Let's go look at the rear end. Okay, here's the rear end. What is it? Well, it's a Ford Mustang Cobra 2001 system. This is Ford Mustang's first ever IRS system. Now what's IRS? Well, that's independent rear suspension versus the straight live axle that Ford would have had in here in 1967. It's just beautiful technology. It allows for a much more refined experience. Additionally, it has the QA1 shocks and Eibach springs. So, and along with that, a beautiful custom installed MagnaFlow exhaust system. The whole thing comes together and creates a thing of beauty. I absolutely love it. It's on the wild side, but it's easily reversible. This whole system can be taken right back out and you can put a straight axle right back in. So no harm, no foul. So with the addition of this 2001 Cobra Mustang rear end, you get disc brakes. So now you have a four-wheel disc brake car. That adds to the experience. Let's take this Restomod for a test drive. Before we go into that test drive, I thought I'd start it up and let you hear the exhaust note. That sounds really good. Let's go on that test drive. Okay, so we're riding in a resto-modded 1967 Mustang Fastback. So what are the benefits of these modifications and enhancements? Well, to start with, you got a 5-speed transmission. So going down the interstate at 70 miles per hour, you're just at double idle, like 2,000 RPM versus 3,000, 3,500. That's quite nice. Makes for a much more relaxing long distance trip. So that's one. Four-wheel disc brakes. It's enhanced stopping capability. It's nice to have. You've got modern air and modern heat, just superior to the original factory equipment. There's just no getting around it. It's also super nice to have. And then the updated radio is really cool because you can take your iPod or your iPhone and you can listen to the music you want to listen to. And that always enhances your experience. Let's see, you got coilovers at all four corners and the independent rear suspension. So you just got an enhanced driving experience there. Let's see, there's probably other things too, but those things alone really just make for an enhanced experience all around. Now, it's not a modern car. It's still a 50-year-old Mustang. However, when compared to other 50-year-old Mustangs, it's got some advantages. Some of the other enhancements I didn't mention earlier is it has the LED brake lights. It's safer, brighter. It's got 68 bucket seats with the headrest, which I love. That's my favorite vintage Mustang seat. Like that quite a bit. Sound deadener throughout the car. It helps these Mustangs. They're pretty tinny. Let's see, probably some other things. You know, these cars are loud. They're very visceral. You can hear everything, the motor, the transmission, the wind. But if you want an isolated, sterile experience, I'd buy a brand new car. Otherwise, these things are fun. They provide that wind in the face experience, that vintage, nostalgic experience. So basically what you have is a well sorted out, well thought out, purpose-built resto-mod Mustang that just makes you happy. It's fun to drive, gets you excited just to look at it. And the cool thing about this car, at least to me, is the fact it could be easily converted back to an all original car. Right in line with its original Marty report specs. And I'd never do it, but it's comforting to know that I could. Well, I hope you enjoyed the test drive. I certainly did. And click like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you'd like to see some more. My son and I have a website called myride.com. We're a father-son team. We're passionate about vintage cars. Come check us out.